Hello and welcome back to this video of the video series KNX IP. Now that we know the basics of the IP technology and the KNX IP technology, we want to take a look at the first KNX IP device. And I hold this in my hand. This is the KNX IP Interface 732 Secure. But what do we even need KNX IP interfaces for? Well, this is what we want to take a look at in this video. As the name suggests, the KNX IP interface is an interface between KNX Twisted Pair and an IP network. In this case, a local area network. You can access a KNX Twisted Pair network with this device via the network. So in this case, you can see the KNX IP Interface Secure 732. But what do you need it for? Well, on the one hand, it can be used to connect the EDS5 to the KNX network. So, for example, for programming over the network, you would then connect your laptop or PC to your network, and you would also connect the IP interface on the one side to the KNX Twisted Pair bus and on the other side to your network. And then you can program the devices with the EDS5 over the network. And for secure devices, this programming is even encrypted. On the other hand, you can use it for servers. So for example, if you have a visualization server that needs a connection to the KNX Twisted Pair bus, then you can also use the IP interface to build up this connection. Depending on the device you use, several devices can communicate with the KNX network at the same time. So in the case of the KNX IP Interface Secure 732, up to 5 devices can establish a connection at the same time. In order to use the interface for programming, it only has to be connected to the KNX network, and it is then connected to the home network. The system can now be programmed via the network because the EDS5 automatically recognizes that an IP interface is available. So here you can see in this example we have the laptop connected to the IP interface, and the IP interface is connected to our KNX Twisted Pair bus, and with this connection we can program, for example, this switching actuator or the push button sensor. But as I already told, the IP interface can also be used as an interface to a server. Here you can see an example for this usage. We connect the interface to the network and the Twisted Pair line, and the IP interface can then be used as an interface in the server. Depending on the server, you might have to specify the IP address to this KNX IP interface, or it also is going to recognize the IP interface automatically like the EDS5 does. And because we can establish several connections at the same time, we can connect a server and a programming software, the EDS5, to our KNX network at the same time. So the server visualization is still working while we program the devices on the KNX Twisted Pair side. But let us compare the IP interface and the USB interface, and let us take a look at the main differences. First of all, the connections. With an IP interface, we can connect multiple devices at the same time, and for the IP interface 732, we can link up to 5 devices at the same time. For a USB interface, we can only connect a maximum of 1 device to the interface. This is the limitation we have. Also, in the distance, we can see a big difference. For an IP interface, we have a distance limit in the case of a direct connection, so an IP interface connected with a patch wire directly to our PC. There we have a limitation of 100 meters. But if we use the interface in a normal network with switches and routers, we nearly have no limit at all. For the USB interface, we have a limit specified by USB 2.0 with 5 meters maximum wire length. And also with the speed, we can see a big difference. With an installation type of Cat7, we can have up to 10,000 megabits per second, while with USB 2.0, we only have 480 megabits per second. So the transmission speed over the network is significantly higher than with USB. But that's enough theoretical knowledge. So let us take a look at the interface in practice in the EDS5.